This is a finance. That was the board meeting. Finance.
I'm gonna get back to work. Start another meeting.
Can we speak or no?
No, this is not, it's human resources, so.
I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Finance Committee.
Be quick.
Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Nolden,
Present.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Here.
Commissioner Ellenberg,
Here.
Commissioner Clemens,
Present.
Commissioner Young,
Here.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Present.
Commissioner Davis,
Present.
Commissioner Newman,
Here.
Commissioner Peppin.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Are there any public comments to the committee?
We gotta do minutes first.
Oh, minutes. I'm sorry.
I'll
We have
move the minutes.
Minutes, I've got support. So there's a motion and a support. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now, public comments to the committee. Do we have any public comments to the committee? Seeing none, we'll close that. Communications.
No, sir.
No communications, no old business. Under new business,
Move A1.
Support.
we have a motion to move and a support. Is there any discussions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes.
Move B1.
Support.
So it's been moved and supported for B1. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, could we have Mr. Wright come up and explain this? There he is.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Welcome back, I guess, with no masks for a while. Well, good morning. The project we're referring to is this water tower will assure that when we lose power, which we have several times in the last couple of months from Consumers Power, that we will be able to maintain water pressure throughout our water system. This water tower benefits all 34 communities that we service, which touches every one of your districts. It benefits all 175,000 customers that are on the system. The total cost of the tower to us is about $5.4 million, of which we're asking for monies from the Care money of $2 million. The township officials and the city officials of the 34 communities have also passed a resolution in support of this unanimously, all 34 of them. Some time ago, I sent a document to all of you with that resolution and their signatures. So if you have any questions on it, I would add that with this water tower and other improvements that we're making to the system, that we will become totally self-sustainable if we were to lose power temporarily or permanently from Consumers Power. So in other words, if Consumers, for whatever reason, goes down, we will still be able to supply our customers with water, treated water.
Just one question. I know that we're talking about using some of the Carehack money from the county, but I know you said you talked to all 34 municipalities. I know most of them, or probably all of them, have received some forms of Carehack money. Are they kicking in anything?
Well, they all have their own projects that they're using their dollars for. They kick in something every day because the communities are the ones that pay for our system. Individuals are not our customers. It's the townships, cities, and villages that are our customers. And they pay for their water system every month. So to answer your question directly, no, they're not kicking in any of their grant money. I'd also point out that this grant money specifically stated in the beginning that it should be used for water, sewer, and broadband. We've been in touch with Congressman Kildee's office multiple times on this. He and their staff insist that we come back and try to get this money.
Sound good?
Commissioner Winfrey?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I have no objection, to this particular request. But I guess my question is, are we going to piecemeal the ARP funds, or are we going to sit down and come up with an overall plan to dispense the funds?
Right now, our plan is to have an overall plan. this situation has been in process for a while, and we don't want to slow it down. Commissioner Clemens?
So I am in full support of this project. I think water is a very important issue. Water should be a human right. We've seen the issues in this community when we don't have access to clean drinking water, and it's not just a Flint problem, it is a Genesee County problem. We know that there are continuous other water needs, and I hope that we as a board can continue to look at ways that we can support our local communities, especially those in the Fenton and Fenton Township area and the water challenges that they're having. So I think this is a great work, a great step forward. One question I have for you, are you also seeking funding from the state of Michigan? I know there's some conversations with our legislative delegation going on, and I was wondering what that was that related to this project?
We're seeking funding from the state and from the feds, not only for water improvements, but for the other parts of this overall plan we're talking about to make us totally self-sufficient in case somebody hacks into consumers' power. So yes, we're seeking dollars from all sources and hope to get dollars from all sources.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hallenberg?
I did have discussion with Mr. Wright about this, and this is a project that will basically help all of our residents in Genesee County. And when your power goes out and you have no water, to me, that's not only a situation that's going to be troublesome for your home, but it's almost a safety issue. Or, if people can mess with your water, I mean, not that we want to think that, but if it's always up and running and you're always secured that it's going to keep going, that's just makes it better for everyone. This is a project that's going to affect all of Genesee County and help the residents. If by the chance, if they had to say, if we said no on this and they had to foot the bill on that, eventually, that's going to trickle down to all the customers because it has to be paid for. And so with the fact that if we can help on this, it's not going to raise other rates, is that correctly?
It definitely keeps rates flat.
Okay.
The project was underway before these dollars even became available. That's why we were shovel-ready when the money became available. So we were in the process of building or going to build this tower anyhow. So by assistance from the county, it does keep water rates down or more affordable to all the customers.
And to me, that's helping everyone. And this is what this money's for, is to be able to help everyone, and it's going to help everyone in the area of Genesee County, not certain areas. So
There's another point that you make too about public health. There's also public safety in the aspect that fire suppression particularly. When you have water pressure, you have fire suppression capability throughout the county. And when you don't have that water pressure, you have zero firefighting capability.
okay. All right, thank you.
Just one other question, and I'm in support of this too, but, so you said this was already in motion. So where was the dollars gonna come from if these CARES Act?
The customers of the systems, township, cities, villages, and then their customers, the individuals. I would point out that the 34 communities does include the city of Flint.
Commissioner Shoemaker?
I have a couple of questions, and I hope it's okay that I continue. Do we know the percentage of residents in the county that don't have public water?
Well, I can't give you a percentage of people, but I can give you a percentage of households. It's about 50-50.
All right, we think this tower will help us expand our footprint out to those communities at all? And will it
There are
handle a
currently
larger-
communities, the Fenton Township, Mundy Township, Forest, Thetford, Atlas, they're all looking at expanding the water system currently into their areas, mainly because of the poor water quality in their groundwater, which has high arsenic levels in many cases. So many communities are trying to expand at their cost the county's water system into their areas.
And this tank will allow you to expand out in those areas if they want to then, and handle it.
It will help, but mainly the tank is to maintain water pressure and availability of water if we lose power. The tank is not necessary to expand the capacity of the system. It's more there to protect us in an emergency when we lose power, which we have quite often in the last 6 to 10 months, which has been quite surprising to us. I do believe that in the future, we're going to have more brownouts, potential blackouts, and who knows with the hacking situations out there, what may happen with our power grid. So I think it's very important to put whatever we can into our water distribution system to make sure that it operates whether we get power or not.
Are there different sizes to these tanks that can actually be built?
This particular tank is a 1 million gallon tank. We have several tanks already, some elevated, some what we refer to as ground storage. Altogether, those tanks total about 34 million gallons of storage capability. The elevated tanks are the ones that allow us to maintain pressure without power because the water wants to use gravity to pressurize the system. So that's the importance of elevated tanks over ground storage. We have 2 elevated tanks on the west side of the county. We have none on the east side of the county, which this would be on the east side. We have one up in the north end, and then we share some tank capacity down on the south end, currently elevated tank capacity with Grand Blanc and Burton.
Thank you.
Clemens.
With this being an elevated tank and using county resources, is there opportunity for marketing and branding of the county logo on the elevated tank?
That was something that's not been discussed. If the board wants to discuss it with us at any time, I'd be glad to do it. Just to point out, we have ground storage and elevated tanks over the county currently. They're all painted sky blue. If you look at all the tanks, the ones you see that are sky blue, those are the counties. The other tanks that might be white or other colors, those are other communities. But the sky blue ones that are ours, you will see that they have no logos on them. They have no lettering on them. They have nothing on them currently. Because I was always concerned that if we start putting something on them, the next thing somebody's going to want to advertise on them.
That's money.
So right now, there's nothing on any of them. There's no plans to put anything on this one, but if it's something the board would like to discuss, I'd be glad to do it.
I have one more question too. Go ahead. You're still on. I just, he brought something to my attention because we're always looking, like with 911, they're always looking for antennas for, service for Wi-Fi and all that stuff. Would that ever be able to
Absolutely.
utilize that for
On the elevated
broadband?
tanks, absolutely.
Okay, because, that's another factor, because if not, you have to pay for those towers, and they're very expensive also. So if that's a tank that can be utilized for Wi-Fi.
I think, actually, that when the 911 went radio 18 years ago now, when they upgraded the first time, I do believe they already have some antennas on our Montrose Tower, which is up in the north end, and one of our west side towers. But they're absolutely available for that, and there's never been a charge for it either.
That's what I'm thinking, you utilize it for other sources.
Commissioner Clemens?
I would like to move that we amend the resolution to include that this board will require the branding of the Genesee County logo on the tower.
Support.
So there's been an amendment made. It's been moved and supported. Is there discussion on that?
We vote on the amendment first, right?
Right.
So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. I'd just like to say this is a positive move for public health, public safety for Genesee County. So this is the kind of things that we need to help improve life for the citizens, and I'm totally supportive of it. So, thank you, Commissioner.
Do we have to vote on the amendment?
We're going to vote on that next.
Vote on the resolution as
And-
amended.
Yep, so we're going to vote on the resolution now as amended. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Do we have any other business?
No, he's leaving.
Okay. Seeing no other business, I move to adjourn the meeting at 10 o'clock.